Hi Vishalini, how are you?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. Hope I pronounced your name properly, right?
Yeah, it's correct. Usually, no one pronounces my name correctly. They do it like Vaishali.
Yeah, actually, I was also confused whether before calling you whether it is Vaishali or it is, so that's fine. And it's a different name, right? So
Yeah,
it's okay. So can you tell us something about yourself?
sure. Sir, my name is Vishalini, and I'm currently working in AXA Excel as a process analyst in the insurance domain. I had a keen interest in software development and testing side. I had an urge to learn them. So I volunteered myself in Selenium with Java automation. So I have learned them, and I know coming to my the technical skills. I am good in manual testing and automation testing, mainly in Selenium, and I know core concepts of Java and basics of SQL.
Mhm. Okay, great. So you know core concepts of Java, and what about Selenium? How would you rate the knowledge that you have in Selenium?
So for out of five, I can rate it four.
Okay, great. Okay, so what is Maven?
Maven is like a built-in tool. If we require any kind of dependencies in Selenium to execute the test script, we make use of this Maven. It is like a repository where we have multiple libraries present within them.
Mhm. Okay, so what does Maven clean command do?
No, sir. I mean, I am not really sure of the commands in Maven. We have just used the entire dependency package.
Okay,
So, yeah.
okay. So just for your information, so if this question is asked you in a real-time interview, so Maven clean command will actually delete the target directory, right? And it is
Okay.
written as men clean, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the difference. Okay. What is the use of action class in Selenium?
Extend
Action class.
action class.
Mm.
Okay. Action class is if you want to perform any right click on the screen or something, you want to automate something like right click, then we make use of the action class,
Mhm.
context click method. So that is one of the actions to mainly to perform particular actions on the web page.
Mhm. Right. So it is basically used for handling keyboard and mouse events, right?
Okay.
The action class. So there are various methods. You can do context click. You can do click and
Yes.
hold. Double click
Mhm.
you can perform. Right. You
Okay.
can drag and drop. So all those things are possible using this particular class. Okay. What is the difference between arrays and collections in Java?
Okay. Arrays is like a list of multiple data, but it has various data types, but it is not. It is fixed. You cannot add another array if only the limit is only that much. So,
Mm.
but when it comes to collections, it is like a dynamic set of data you can add. So there will be no limit or boundary specified.
Right. So you can increase or you can decrease the size.
If this the size.
Mm. Then.
Then in array you can retrieve the element by indexing.
Mhm.
Whereas in collections, I'm not really sure how we retrieve the elements, but I can know only like adding and updating the data.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So any other difference that is coming to your mind?
mm,
You can think. You can take your time
okay,
to think. Yeah. In a real-time interview also, if you need time to think, so please don't hesitate. You can tell the
sure.
interviewer that allow me 1 or 2 minutes to think. Let me
Mm,
try to recall the points. I have already learned about this topic, but it is just that I am not able to answer it now. So let me think over it. So they will give you the time. Mhm.
That's all I'm able to recollect, sir. Difference
Okay.
between them.
Okay, no worries. See, uh, sorry, we'll see some differences between arrays and collection. So the very first
Sure.
difference that you had mentioned, that arrays are fixed in size, right? Once
Yes.
we create the array, we cannot increase or decrease based on our requirement.
Yes.
While collections can be increased or decreased, those are dynamic. So
Yes.
that difference, you mentioned it very rightly. Then when you are looking from the performance point of view, right? So
Mm.
arrays are always recommended to use as per the best practices standards. While if you are using collections, so the performance issues are there, right? Then when you are writing in memory with respect to memory, so arrays are not recommended to use. But in memory, collections are recommended to use, right? Now
Yes.
arrays can
Yes.
hold.
Why? Because it has only fixed amount of storage, right? For array,
Absolutely.
we cannot change the memory address.
Hmm.
So when it comes to collections, it is dynamic and random.
Right, right. Then after these generic points, you can think about data types. Okay. Array can hold
Yes.
both kind of data type. One is primitive, one is object type. While collection can hold only object types, but not primitive data types such as integer, long, short. Those are not applicable for collections,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Arrays can hold only homogeneous data types elements. Collection can hold both homogeneous and heterogeneous elements. Right. So these are basic differences between arrays and collections. See, in an interview, when you tell that you are confident with automation, you tell 3 or 4 out of 5. So definitely they
Mm.
are going to ask questions on arrays, collections, right? So those things
Yes.
you can expect in an interview, right? So be
Okay.
prepared. Sometimes they might ask you to write some program. Sometimes they might ask you to give the differences, linked list, array. All these things can come up. Okay. Mm. Okay. Now, when you write the test cases, so which are the
Mhm.
different testing techniques that you are using to write test cases?
Okay. Test design techniques, is it?
Testing technique. Okay.
Uh, yeah. One is one is like exhaustive testing technique.
So that is a type of testing.
Yes.
Hmm.
So what are the approaches you're asking, right?
Let's say
What
I
are the
give you,
different?
yeah, I give you one field to test, but it is not possible to test each and
Mhm.
every permutation and combination of that particular field, right? We don't have time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sometimes, yeah. So what? So you will be writing test cases.
One is like yes, like one is a Big Bang approach and another is incremental approach.
Hmm.
Like in Big Bang approach, what we do is we combine all the test data at uh, and in such cases, what will happen is fault identification will be very difficult as the entire data is combined. But when we come to incremental approach, what will happen is we divide the data into subgroups so that each group can be tested individually and then connected. So if suppose a login page is working fine and but we now go to the next page, but the next page is not yet been developed. But we cannot waste our time till it's been developed, right? So instead of that, we make use of something like a dummy module that is known as stub and driver. So with the help of that, we can stimulate the testing.
Okay. So when you say about stub and driver, so those things are used in unit testing, right?
Yes.
Now, let's say if I give you some field to test, let's say if I give
Mhm.
you a field which accepts 1 to 100 characters, it is not possible for you to test each and every combination of those characters. So you will be coming up
Yes.
with the test case design techniques, equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, right? So these are the techniques
Data
which
table
yeah.
planning. Yes.
Sorry, which one you were telling?
Data table planning.
Data table.
Data table.
Okay. I haven't heard about this technique actually.
Okay.
So, see, equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis are the most commonly used techniques, right? So, which you can use to write the test cases, and you can smartly test with respect to limited test data, and you can give sign off for that particular story, whether it is working fine or not, right? So, those things you can do. Okay. Okay. Now, what is Big Bang? You were telling something about Big Bang.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Big Bang is like combining the entire test data, combining the entire requirements of the test modules together, and then after it's being developed, then it is being tested. So
So that is a part of integration testing.
yes,
Hmm.
mainly for data connectivity.
Hmm. Right. Right. Okay. So that is that. And something else. So stub and driver, you were telling that is related to unit testing. Right. What else you were telling?
Incremental approach, I said.
Yeah. Yeah. Incremental. So that is actually the prototype incremental. These are all the models, the various
Yeah.
methodologies that you have. Right. Okay. Which one is better, waterfall or agile?
Agile is better, sir.
Why so?
Uh, why so is because there's always be dynamic loading of test data in an application. So when we use agile methodology, we can test the application in within less amount of time, and you can um, make the customers needs better
Hmm.
approach will be there to the customers where they can accept the application. But when we come to waterfall model, it is like a linear sequential model. Unless and until one phase is completed, it will not go to the next phase. And if there is any change made in the middle of the application, again it has to be tested from the beginning.
Hmm.
So which is time consuming and a lot of cost as well.
Hmm.
As well as the success rate is high compared in agile methodology compared to waterfall models.
Mhm. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Now I have written one program.
Okay.
Okay. And there are some mistakes that has been done by me, right? So you have to look into this program. It's a Selenium automation script. Sorry, it's a
Okay.
automation script, right? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and here is this. So you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Hmm. So I'm using one website. In that, I'm
Mm-hmm.
entering the full name, email address, current address, permanent address using send keys, right? Now,
Okay.
yeah. Can you identify the problems in this program? Okay, first of all, tell me whether this program will run or not.
No, sir, it will not run because constructor is not created for the Chrome driver, where here it should have a new
Okay.
keyword should be
So,
present
okay,
in
so I
the
need to
second line,
write
that is web
new,
driver.
right?
Not that, sir. Down. Next
Mhm.
line.
Okay, next line here,
Web driver is equal to new driver.
new Chrome driver. Is this fine?
New Chrome driver.
Mhm.
No, small letter, sir. N is
Why?
small.
Okay, why small?
Keywords are like reserved words, so it's case sensitive, and everything will be in lowercase only.
Correct. Absolutely. Then,
So then we have, so the first line is WebDriver dot Chrome driver dot setup, where it is used for setting up the, it's called WebDriver is like a abstract class. It's like setting up for the path.
mm,
And then the next line is like a constructor where it is used for initializing the value to the object. And then driver dot get is launching that particular link.
mm,
So then coming to the next line, web element full name is equal to driver. So we are finding it by the ID called as username. Yeah. Mhm. Yes, sir, it will run, sir. This will run.
okay.
So
Okay.
suppose if you want to maximize the window, then we have
Mm,
to use windows, sorry, driver dot manage dot windows dot maximize, sir,
okay.
for maximizing the window.
Okay. Do you see any problem in this line?
Uh, web element current. Mm, I'm not able to find the errors, but the web element and the this ID name is same.
Hmm. Right. Do you see any problem in this line?
Yes, yeah. Here
Hmm.
also it's the same. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what's the problem?
So like the web element name and the ID name is same. So
Hmm.
you need to give a different web element name so that you
No,
can
no, no,
store
no.
it.
No, no, this is fine. See, we don't see any issue here. Any other
Okay.
issue that you can find in this line?
Yeah, by class should be
Hmm.
should be kept.
Right. Okay. Then, do you think this is appropriate to use?
So that thread dot sleep. If suppose that particular page is taking, I mean that particular web element is taking a lot of time to
Hmm.
load in that web page, then that time we give this. So I don't think it is much required in for this.
Hmm. So, which is the alternate that you can use?
Implicit wait we can give. Implicit wait we can give.
Implicit or explicit weight?
Explicit wait is like if that particular yeah, so
Hmm.
I think we
So,
should give explicit wait. It is particularly only for that particular element. If you it takes a lot of time to wait in the web page, then we use explicit wait.
hmm. Correct. So you
Yes.
use explicit weight, right?
Yes.
Now, is there any issue in this problem? Oh, yeah, sorry. Is there any issue in this script?
Mm,
So many issues are there.
let me see, sir. Mm, I think it's fine, sir.
Are you sure? You can see the
Yes.
script end to end. You can see from first line to the last line.
WebDriver is equal. Second line is wrong, sir.
Which line?
WebDriver manager for phone driver webster.
Hmm.
It's correct. I think yeah, it's correct.
This one.
No, it's correct, sir.
Hmm. So, in the beginning of the interview, I asked you like how much you will rate the knowledge of Selenium. You told 4 out of
Yes, sir.
5, right?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So you don't see any
It
problem
is
in the script.
inside the main method. Brackets are fine. It's inside the class as well. So everything is by ID only.
Hmm. So you think it's perfect, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So that's good thing. See, I was just testing your confidence. Rest of the things were
Yes.
proper only in the script, but I was looking how much confident. So you should be confident, right? When you see you don't have any issues, so just tell it upfront in the interview. Yeah, I don't see it. See, sometimes um people will check the confidence because you might be hired for some project where client is of that mindset of or that attitude that he will keep on asking some questions here or there, right? So they might have to check, okay, her confidence is actually good, so she would be able to communicate, she'll be able to speak up during the client communication, during the client calls, right? So those aspects are also seen in an interview. But that was good that you were able to identify all the problems that we had in that script. Okay. Now, what is a stateful and what is a stateless API?
No, sir. I'm not aware about API.
No worries. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. What is a stateful and what is stateless API? Okay, what is post method? You would like to give a try? See, you have to at least learn the basics of API testing, right? Your automation, Selenium knowledge is good, right? So at least learn basics of API testing.
Yes.
Post method is nothing but post, right? So see how this term comes up in the picture, post. So when you say post, so you will send something, right? A
Yes.
postman
Yes.
was there in the earlier days. They are there now also. So they will deliver the letters from one place to another, right? So post
Yes.
method is used to send data to a server, right? And it's an
Okay.
API. Yeah. So
Okay.
it actually kind of it creates resources such as a file in a directory or when you want to send the data, right? So that is done via post, right? Now what is get?
Get is getting the request.
Correct, correct. So as the name, as the term suggests, so it is used to retrieve the data, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so get is getting the data, post is sending the data.
Like HTTP post, HTTP get like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
HTTP methods get versus post. Even this difference can be asked to you,
Okay.
right? So those things are there. Okay. Hmm. Okay, now let's say we take a string Deepak. Okay, now
Mm.
you have to find the consonants from this particular string. So you have to write a Java program. So you have joined from laptop, right?
Yes.
So you have to write a Java program to extract the consonants from string Deepak. So I'm giving you screen sharing rights. You can use anything, IDE, IntelliJ, anything, any IDE, IntelliJ or Eclipse or Notepad++, whichever you are comfortable with. Just click on share screen option.
I have clicked, sir.
Yeah, now select the screen so we can see your screen. Perfect. So a lot of practice you have done.
Yes, sir. So this was during my course. So,
You're looking for some help?
Yes, I'm not able to
Mm-hmm.
know the declaration for this.
No worries, no worries. So let me stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Is my screen visible?
No, not yet, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm. See, now there are two ways. Either you can see how many consonants are there, or you can check how many vowels are there. So rest of the characters are
Vowels.
automatically all consonants, right? So
Yes.
what we will do is we can use this scanner, right? And we will use one for loop, right?
Yes.
So what is the length? So over here, let me just yeah. So what is the length of this particular string, right? So it will be string.
Starts with one. So
Yeah.
yeah. So 1, 2, 3,
Mm,
4, 5. One.
correct. Right. And then any if conditions are there, right?
Mm.
So if they are
Mm.
matching, so you don't have to take. You will go for else if character
Okay.
not equal to, right? And then automatically you can get the consonants in the string.
Yes. So mainly the string is converted to
Hmm.
this array.
Absolutely. Right. Right. So this is good. Okay, Vishalini, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir. Please let me know the feedback on what are my improvements.
Yeah, so you have to improve on API testing. So some basic content, basic questions, you be prepared. And it's not only about interview, but if
Mm.
you will get that knowledge, it will eventually help you in your career. Second thing is about this Java
Mm.
program. Once you would have written the Java
Mm.
program, then I would have asked you to go for another approach, then third approach, fourth approach. Then out of four approaches, for example, which one is the best? So those kind of discussions would have taken place. So in the real-time interview, these kind of discussions are actually done with the people, with the
Okay.
candidates, right? So be prepared with the Java. The rest all looks good, right?
Okay, so one more question is I have done my education in engineering, but I was switching a domain from insurance to testing side. So, how do you think this approach is?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, so that is fine. People are switching from non-IT background to IT background.
yeah,
They might choose software testing field, they might choose SAP, they might choose RPA, they might choose automation or even development sometimes. So that is fine. That is common thing, right? Even I have switched from non-IT to IT, right?
yeah,
So you don't have to worry about all those things. You just have to make sure that your interview should go good, right? You should be able
yeah.
to answer 8 or 9 questions out of 10 so that they don't have any option to reject you. Be prepared for
So,
the
how do you show
interviews.
we are experienced? So, how do we show we are experienced in automation? Because we cannot directly show that we have experience. They can know that we are from non
Mm.
IT, right?
So
So,
what you
like,
can
how
do
can
is, yeah, you can automate some website. You can create the
okay,
framework in your local machine and upload that particular code into one repository. You can create your own Git
yeah,
repository. You can upload code, and when you go for the interviews, you can mention that Git link in the resume. You can
yeah,
also tell them that here is the code. You can check the framework, and you can also give your feedback. So they'll be happy to see, okay, so much work. As you know, today what happened when you started writing the program, so I was happy to see that there is so much practice that you have done.
yes,
So there is a difference between people who haven't worked but they speak in the interview they have, and there are people who have worked and then they speak. So there is a difference in the tone. There is a difference in the way they speak. There is a difference in the confidence. So eh, automatically the interviewer will come to know.
okay. So, I need to improve on the confidence also.
Yeah. Sorry.
I need to improve in the confidence also. Or, yes,
Yeah, don't get nervous in the interviews, right? Be confident. The interviewer might be trying to confuse you, but don't get confused at all.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you so much and wish you all the
Thank you so
best for
much.
your career ahead. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.